Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Here we have Matt on Omnitell versus Thomas on Turbo Depths. Matt's put in quite a bit of work and gotten great results with different show and tell builds. I believe this is more blue focused, listed as Omnitell, not Eureka-tell, so perhaps not even running Eureka at this point. Once upon a time, finding a Elvish Spirit Guide or Turbo Depths, essentially functioning as an additional Spirit Guide. Pondering, looking to set things up as fast as possible, as Turbo Depths can certainly keep up speed-wise all but the fastest decks in the format. Generally capable of making a 20/20 on turn 2, sometimes turn 1, but usually turn 2, maybe 3. Urborg, Thespian stage for Thomas. 2 different ways of making a Merit Lage once that Dark Depths arrives. But a show and tell for Matt. See if there's a Dark Depths to put in or not. Or how much good a Merit Lage would do. Actually going to have a crop rotation in response, so can make a 20/20 in response to this show and tell. That Dark Depth's not going to be super helpful as Omniscience comes into the battlefield, allowing Matt to play all of his spells for free. Shared Summons, going to go get Gristlebrand and Emrakul, and that'll be enough right there. If it wasn't enough, Gristlebrand could draw 14 more cards, none of which Matt would need to pay any mana to cast thanks to the Omniscience, and that is a wrap right there. Even with the 20/20 indestructible blocker, that Annihilator 6 is just going to take care of that situation in its entirety as Turbo Depths takes that one down. A blink of an eye. That is exactly what you're looking to do. Did I just speak? I'm not sure if I called it Omnitell or not. I do these mistake. You know what? It's only fair. Players' mistakes get to live on, my mistake. Well, so Omnitell here, going to be on the draw, potentially facing down discard spells. Really, Turbo Depth's main line of defense historically has been cards like Thoughtseize to be able to go after your opponent's hand and slow things down just a little bit. Lots of different ways to win a race, and that's really what Magic is. I mean, you can tackle somebody, you can go for their knees, you can try and run a little bit faster, of course, that's the traditional route. Sometimes, when you're both running, if you could just give that other person a little bit of a nudge, that's going to be enough, and that's kind of what Turbo Depths is looking to do with effects like Thoughtseize or Duress out of the sideboard. Not really going to stop your opponent altogether. You know, they might still have a turn 3 or 4 win, but you're going to win before they actually get to that. So just kind of slow them down just a little bit, get them out of their lane, make it so they've got to regroup, and then you make a 20/20 and get them out of there before they can actually win on their own. Once upon a time, finds an Elvish Spirit Guide again in a breeding pool, also entering untapped. See what that is actually for. I mean, the 2 life not likely to matter. I'm curious what this breeding pool is going to be for. I do see a splash of blue over there. Card was. Seen Stifle in some of these lists previously that run Mox Diamond, but if you're running breeding pool, you probably don't own Mox Diamond. Likelihood. Solid splash. I believe I lost to that in the top 8 or finals of a legacy event quite a while ago. Storm deck. Turbo Depths looking pretty dangerous here. Has the Dark Depths along with the Thespian stage. Just needs 1 more mana. We've already seen Elvish Spirit Guide in hand. Now we got a Brainstorm from Matt. Draw 3, put back on top. Turn the upkeep, shuffling. Oh, and he's going to draw that same card again. Stifle. Shutting down that fetch. During the end step, a pair of Spirit Guides. Making a Merit Lage. That'll do it. Yeah, technically, tournament setting, you don't want to actually use your Thespian Stage face down as the Merit Lage. You'll have to get Thomas a Merit Lage token the next time he's in. Got to keep that graveyard order correct. Graveyard accurate as well. Cards like Surgical Extraction, sometimes boarded in versus Turbo Depths. Generally, they're going to want to take out the Dark Depths, not the Thespians. You want to keep that clear. That'll have the play this time. Going to be hoping for some fast mana. Ancient Tomb, City of Traders, Lotus Petals, anything that's going to accelerate his game plan. He really could potentially get by with a turn 3 show and tell, just making a land drop a turn, sculpting with cantrips, but that gives an awful lot of opportunity to Turbo Depths to either disrupt or to just potentially have a faster win. It doesn't want to play the role of a control deck with utilizing lots of counter spells. Doesn't really have a way to reload. Not like you're going to have a draw engine. Get a ton of cards back into your... Using a pair of Force of Wills early, for example, is going to be a total disaster. There's never a type of Jace or anything. And in a turn 2 show and tell, this one into Gristlebrand. And this can be answered by Karakas in some builds, but not typically. Usually Turbo Depths is just focused on the speed. And that Sylvan Scrying. Matt, going to go ahead and draw 7 cards. City of Traders does tend to be a little stronger than Ancient Tomb in these builds. The life loss can actually matter. Swinging for 7, gaining 7. Has access to 14 more cards if he wants them. Might as well. Gonna draw 14 more and see if he can finish it right now. So honestly, Turbo Depths, this position, kind of the best they can do is make a 20-20. Quite a ways away from actually getting the job done. Now we've got a show and tell, putting in Omniscience, Ponder, followed up. Oh, Force of Vigor. Thomas staying scrappy here, attempting to blow up the Omniscience. Force of Will denies that. Tends to happen when your opponent's drawn like 21 extra cards. If they haven't killed you with those cards, there's a good chance that some of them are counter spells. Can't all be lands. And continuing to dig. Ponder. And finally, we've got the Cunning Wish, and that should wrap it up. We'll see if he goes with the shared summons. Got a crop rotation, and now can just hard cast Force of Will, or alt cast. Not pitching, just using Omniscience, however you want to phrase that. It is an alternate casting cost. And does turn all of those Force of Wills just even more free. Just like that. Omnitell takes it down versus Turbo Depths.